At 5:30, have you done any apple picking this fall? Well, our weather has been much more favorable to farmers this year. News 4's Brian Shaw, back from Becker Farms, joins us now with more. Brian?
Yeah, while Western New Yorkers were loving last year's early spring, it meant bad news for local fruit farmers because after several frosts and freezes, the crop had diminished quite a bit. This year saw a huge turnaround.
It was the complete opposite. It's a bumper crop. It's the best crop that we've ever had here on Becker Farms, and I think even throughout New York State.
The reason being was the trees kind of had a rest, and the area did actually have a good growing season last year. This year they bloomed at the normal time, and the blossoms were thin to get good spacing. The weather this summer was also very conducive with timely rains, so both of those contributed to a good-sized apple.
The trees got really healthy, and they decide how many flowers they're going to have the previous year. So last summer, they said, let's make a lot of apples. So the apples, we had a great bloom, like there was a lot of flowers, and then also we did not have any frost.
It wasn't just apples that recovered. Grapes, cherries, and peaches all did well with more of a normal season. Melinda said that even with the great year, it still doesn't really make up for last year's poor season because people aren't necessarily buying more apples. She said they may struggle to find a home for all of them and expect to continue to have the U-pick through the first weekend in November. At the same time, the wet summer has hurt this year's pumpkin crop.
The pumpkin farmers that planted before that rain, some of them got flooded out because it was too much rain, the seeds rotted. And then those of us, we planted after that rain, but that was already by June 20th, which is pretty late. So the pumpkins didn't have the yield that they normally would.
So you may actually see some green pumpkins this year. Pretty much all vegetables have struggled because of the wet summer with flooding issues at times. But that is why farmers say you can't go year to year and you have to have a 5-year average. Brian Shaw, News 4 at 5:30.
Interesting.